Hello, hello. Could I have your attention, please? Everyone, please settle down. Attention, please. Announcement here. I have a snippet coming up, but this one is not for cream puffs. So if you're a cream puff, please turn off the podcast and come back tomorrow. Hello, gals, and welcome to Sober Living Snippets, where we live alcohol-free so we can heal up those relationships, feel youthful again, and ditch regret and shame. And today, no cream puffs allowed. Now, the truth is, I happen to know that snippet lovers are not cream puffs, but I just wanted to put a little gate at the door today to make sure nobody slipped by the bouncers. Because today I am going to be asking you some hardcore questions, and it's not for cream puffs. Look, seriously though, I am serious. I'm half serious. By the way, hi, I'm Becca Jacobson, and I have a snippet for you. And if you are new around here, happy days are here again. Welcome, my dear. I'm so glad you found us. Welcome to Snippet Land. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about in terms of cream puffs. Really, it's the only expression I could think of. So you do a search on Google or YouTube or social media these days. Not just these days, the last 20 years or so, it's getting worse and worse. And yes, this is grandma complaining about the young folks these days. Right? Oh, those young people these days, they're so impatient. But seriously, to stay on track here. Am I a little bit silly today? I guess I am. Who knew? I didn't even know I was feeling silly until I turned this microphone on. All right, I promise to focus. One of the big problems I see is that we want things fast, we want things quick, we want things easy, we want things cheap, we want things immediate, etc., etc. So, 3 quick steps to sobriety. The easy way to lose weight, cheap, fast, easy, quick, right? Words like that is what appeals to people, and that's why you see it out there, because that's what people go, oh, that'll be cheap, that'll be free, that'll be quick, that'll be easy. But gals, what's wrong with something being a little bit challenging? Are we cream puffs where it's like, oh, that would be too hard. I couldn't possibly do that. It's not easy enough. It's not fast enough. There is a lot to be said for undertaking challenge and overcoming challenge and coming out the other end with your head held high and going, I just overcame something difficult. You know that. I know that. The young people today might not know that. I don't know. Frankly, I'm not too worried about them because here in Snippet Land, most of us are not quite so young anymore. At least not if you're going by the number we have attached to ourselves. But I am serious. I really try hard not to talk about what I do in that kind of language. You know, get sober up with Becca, it'll be easy and fast. And yet, I have to be careful because I am a businesswoman after all, and I have to appeal to the so-called masses. And that is what we want to hear. We want to hear that something's going to be super easy, super fast, super cheap. That's it. It's all going to be done. No problem at all. I'm good. But honestly, do you really want that? Do you want to undertake fast, easy, and cheap? Oh my God, you're worth more than that. And what am I talking about here? First of all, here's what I'm talking about. If someone tells you that recovery or sober living or alcohol-free living or an alcohol-free mindset is easy and fast, they're lying. They're lying. Now, let's see if I can stand up to my own test here. As a matter of fact, gals, I am running a 5-day Sober Spring Cleanse Challenge. Coming up March 19th to 23rd, that's next week, next Wednesday, if you're listening to this in real time. And in order to get you and others to join me on that challenge, I have to put information out there on social media. And so there I am, and I'm putting together the information, and I'm asking myself, what kind of message do I want to put out into the world to attract these women into my challenge, to get them to come and join me, especially the ones that don't know me yet? What kind of message do I want to put out? Now, a savvy marketer would tell me to use words like fast, cheap, and easy. No effort whatsoever. 5 days with me and your problem will be solved forever. That's all there is to it. I can't do that. It's lying. But I do have to say something to appeal to the people that don't know me, or people who are still living with one toe over in cream puff land. Because see, once you're fully into snippet land, your cream puff status disappears. My gals are not cream puffs, and I'm talking to you, my dear. We want the best results, and the best results require a bit of effort, and we don't mind because we're all grown up now, and we've threw away our cream puff panties and put on our big girl panties, and we've decided that we want the best for ourselves, and the best requires a little bit of effort. And by the best, I mean a life that isn't miserable, unhappy, angst, no internal angst, no remorse, no regret, no self-hatred. We want real, true freedom and clarity in our lives. And I'm sorry to say it, but cream puffs won't get that. If you want it fast, cheap, and easy, you might be able to give up alcohol for a while, but you're not going to have the freedom that you really, really want. I know you want it, and I know you can have it. So do I even have a point here today? I do. I know I'm a bit scattered, but I think that's half the reason you love me. Yes, of course I do. My main point is that undertaking your alcohol-free life with help can be made easier. It absolutely can. If you're trying to do it alone, it's just going to be so grueling and miserable, and I don't even want to think about the horror of it all. But while it's much easier with help, it's still not fast. It's still not easy. It might be simple, but it's not easy. And it definitely shouldn't be cheap. It does require effort. In fact, if you don't put in any effort, you're not going to appreciate it. If you could do it without effort, my dear, you would be done. There would be no snippets. I wouldn't be here. Right? And as for cheap, it should not be cheap. And it should definitely not be free. Let me tell you a little story. I have several coach friends, not sobriety coaches, other types of life coaching and health coaches, and we've all noticed the same thing. It's very common. We have big hearts, and sometimes people will want to do our program, but they can't afford it, or they can't afford to pay for all of it, so we drastically lower the price, or sometimes we give our services away for free. And guess what? We're doing nobody a favor because those people always fail. Every time I give my services away, the women don't make it. It just breaks my heart. And so I've stopped doing that because all I'm doing is making sure they fail. It's really heartbreaking. Now, this is no reflection on those gals, in case you're hearing me, which you probably are. It's not a reflection on you. We're all like that. We don't appreciate things that are free. Not only that, but it's possible that if you're not willing to pay for it, you're not really ready. That's probably even more likely. If you were ready and you really wanted it and you recognized a good, solid program when you saw it, you would pay for it. You would find the money. I mean, if you're willing to pay for a week in Mexico where you can get drunk and hungover and come away with nothing, any person with half a brain is going to invest a similar amount of money in a coaching program that's going to change their lives and their health and their relationships. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? So it should not be cheap, and it definitely should not be free, and it's not going to be easy. But it is simple, and it is beautiful. We want high quality, not just in our physical worlds, meaning our homes and our vehicles and our clothing, but in our lives, in our hearts, in our relationships, in our feelings. And the only way to get that is to say, I'm going to work for this because it's worthwhile, because I'm worth it. And then it's true and lasting and beautiful. So beautiful. I'm a little bit mushy today because this morning I met with a group of my clients, and it always makes my heart all warm and mushy because when I get to work with you, your love for each other and for yourselves and your willingness to be uncomfortable and your willingness to grow just opens my heart in ways I can't even describe. And I know that there are more women like you coming. You know who you are. And as you come into this process and realize, well, I had to take a bit of what Becca calls uncomfortable action, but it was so worth it. And I got to be there for other women just like me, which is so worth it. Listen, if you'd like a taste of this, join me March 19th to 23rd. That's next week, Wednesday to Sunday of next week, because the first day of spring is on Thursday. We're going to be together through the first day of spring. And join me for the 5-day Sober Spring Cleanse. This is 5-day challenge, alcohol-free challenge. I'm going to make it easy. I'm going to make it cheap. I'm going to make it fast, baby. No, I'm not. But I'm going to be with you, and I'm going to show you some strategies you can use to make things a little bit easier, to show you how you can make it smoother so you don't have to struggle and suffer alone. You'll be with other women just like you and get a taste of what that's like. It is free, so we are using the F word. It is free. I'm not charging you for it because even though giving away our programs for free doesn't work, doing a little 5-day challenge for free works really, really well. And it's a way for you to get a taste of what it's like to be supported for a week. And I know that that is powerful. I've done it long enough. It's an excellent way for you and I to meet, get to know each other, and for me to help you. It's like, when you go to the grocery store and they give you a taste of the food, a little taster, that's what this is. And those are always free. And not only that, but I know how much courage it takes to step forward and do something like this with relative strangers. You know my voice, but you don't know me, right? And so every single woman who comes through these 5 days with me, I'm giving you a $100 restaurant certificate that you can use at restaurants right by your home. You can go for coffee 10 times or whatever you want to use it for. So you come, you join the private and secure Facebook group, and every single morning I'm going to go live in there and I'm going to talk to you and inspire you and give you snippet-like live streams. And then I'm going to give you micro tasks, little bits of homework that you can do that day to keep yourself going. You'll have opportunity to chat with the other women, and I will help you get your first or your next 5 days alcohol-free. You don't have to struggle alone, and you don't have to suffer. Now, it might not be super easy, but I don't want to be working with cream puffs, and I know, my dear, that you are not a cream puff. That's why you're still listening. Because after all, I did warn you at the beginning of this episode not to listen if you're a cream puff. That's me being just a little bit silly and actually very serious. I love you madly, and you know that, and I care about you. So go to the show notes of this episode. Sign up. Join me and other women just like you for the 2025 Sober Spring Cleanse. We'll clean body, mind, and soul together. And at the end, I'll send you off with a $100 certificate, and you can go take your mother out to lunch or whatever you'd like to do with it. See you tomorrow. Thanks for popping in. Be sure to come back tomorrow so we can keep your head on straight. Sending you buckets of love.